Businesses that take an intentional approach to hiring with the right strategy are able to stop chasing unicorns and put the right people in the right seats. And I can tell you, it is proven that when you approach hiring from this angle, it attracts the best talent. And of course, it helps you to scale faster and to scale higher.
Welcome to Higher Breakthrough, a podcast dedicated to helping entrepreneurs like you take the breakdown out of their hiring breakthrough. If you're a founder who is ready to take back control and build your A team without the overwhelm, you are in the right place. Your host, Kimon Napier, is a hiring strategist, speaker, consultant, and CEO of Higher Breakthrough. We're on a mission to help founders like you connect with the right talent to scale higher. Your time is way too valuable to stay stuck, and we want to show you how to stop chasing unicorns, take an intentional approach to your talent strategy, so you can make your next right hire. Let's get started.
Welcome to Higher Breakthrough. My name is Kimon Napier, aka the Hiring Strategist, and today I'll be talking about how to hire with intention. So you may be saying, well, Kimon, what does that mean, hiring with intention? Well, I'm going to tell you, I've been using this approach to hiring for, of course, my clients, but also in my own business, and it's been amazing. I've used this for years and years, and I can tell you it is proven that when you approach hiring from this angle, it attracts the best talent. And of course, it helps you to scale faster and to scale higher. So let's dive in and talk about this some more. When you're building your team, there are a series of questions that you should be asking yourself and you should be asking candidates. So, in order to hire with intention, these are the three things you need to ask yourself. The first thing is, what is my company's mission? The second thing is, what is my company's vision? And the third thing is, what are my core values? If you don't know the answer to these questions, stop hiring for a moment, go back and revisit your answers to these questions, because this is what's going to help you stand out from all of the other companies out there, big or small. I'll tell you something. I've worked for Fortune 500 companies, I've worked for government agencies, and I'll tell you, this is the biggest piece of the puzzle that is missing. Because without having these, it's going to be very difficult to find candidates to hire for your business and for your company. It's a two-way street. So even though you are assessing candidates, candidates are also assessing you. You remember how everyone is talking about the great resignation, the great resignation. Candidates are tired of putting up with BS in companies, so they're out here looking for better opportunities. I'm giving you the piece of the puzzle that is missing for so many companies. Because if a candidate cannot identify or understand your business, this most likely won't become a long term working relationship. So, the answer to all these questions need to be somewhere on your website. Whatever information you are giving candidates, this is the information that needs to be there, because it's going to help tie them to the purpose of your company. What is the impact behind what it is you're trying to do? Now, of course, if you're just out here and you're just trying to make money and there's no actual vision or meaning behind the things that you're trying to do, you're going to be having a very difficult time to attract the best talent. And that's okay. If that is the approach that you want to take and you just need very short term needs, then that is okay. But what I'm talking about is what's going to set you apart from all of the competition. Remember, talent acquisition, attracting the right talent is competitive, because candidates are not going to just sit around just waiting for you to decide if you want to work with them. What will happen is that they will move along and try to find the company that they are looking for. And you might miss out on great talent because you're missing these three things. So that's the first thing. You need to think about your company mission, your company's vision, and its core values. So I'm going to dive into these three things deeper. So stay tuned.
If you haven't checked out the Hire Breakthrough Calculator yet, what are you waiting for? The Hire Breakthrough Calculator is a simplified tool allowing you to calculate the budget for your next hire minus the hassle. If you find yourself saying, I can't afford to hire, or need to create your hiring budget, this is the tool for you. Go to hirebreakthrough.com/calculator and check it out right now.
So, number one, what is your company mission? So, your company mission is identifying the purpose of your business. This is key for candidates to know and for talent to know because this is your mission statement. When it's crafted, it makes it easy for you to identify who is the right person for your business at this very moment. And you'll be able to understand and to see, does this candidate align with my mission statement? Candidates can do the same thing. Do I actually believe in the mission of this company? So you have every right to consider this question throughout the hiring process. There's no bias when you're thinking this way, because of course, you're not going to make your decision on this alone. You'll be making your decision by asking the right questions. If you are a visionary, if you are a leader, hire the candidate that aligns with your company mission, that has the education, the experience that you're looking for, but also the person that is inspired and believes in your vision and your actual values. If those things are mismatched, that is not the person that you need to be hiring in your business. Because what goes wrong? Often, as a business owner and as a leader, you are hiring the first candidate that you find because you're burnt out and you're overwhelmed. You might have some immediate needs. Life is hitting the fan, but the hiring decisions that you make, they have to be as purposeful as crafting your mission statement. This is key. Number two, your company vision. The reason this is important is because candidates need to understand where your business is going, and you need to understand that too. If you cannot articulate what's the vision for your company, not only is that terrible when it comes to the hiring process, if you ever need to get funding, anything like that, if you ever need to get a loan from the bank, these are things that they're going to ask you. They want to know what your long-term business goals are. So you need to craft your short-term goals, of course, but you need to also craft your long-term business goals for yourself. If a candidate cannot see themselves in the future of your business, they won't have any intention of staying there for the long run. So if retention and turnover is an issue in your business, think about this. Put this into perspective. As a leader, you don't necessarily have the time to continuously hire for the same role over and over again. Now, I'll tell you, whatever you hire, you make the wrong hire, you lose money. There is a return on investment when you are investing in someone. And if you are constantly hiring over and over for the same role and it's not working and you're having to keep rehiring for that role, not only is it a training process, it leads to thousands and tens of thousands of dollars wasted. We don't want to do that. Another thing that I want you to think about is that the candidate's vision for themselves must align with your company's vision. So, the same way that I talked about this with your mission, it has to be the same thing for your vision. So, every time someone is applying for a job, they want to know what it is that they're getting out of the experience. What is attractive for them? Now, put yourself in the candidate's shoes for a moment. You may have applied for a job, maybe you've been an entrepreneur your whole life, but when you have applied for anything, don't you often say to yourself, what can I get out of this experience? It is the same thing for candidates that apply for a role in your business and your company. They start to visualize a future for themselves. And they're asking themselves questions like, what can I learn from this experience? How can this position actually benefit my long term career goals? Where do I see myself in the business 5, 10 years from now? These are the things that they're constantly asking themselves. So, to be quite blunt, you must ask yourself the right questions to see what this person envisions for themselves. What it's going to tell you is whether or not this person's goals align with your business goals, or even if their goals are, furthermore outlying your goals. They may be painting a picture visually in their brain that you might not have seen yet. And this is why I always say it's important to hire from a place to enhance your company. Don't think on the short term. That is what everyone is doing, and it's not making them stand out. But what this is the key element for you to stand out with your company, no matter the size. And it's a key element in hiring with intention. So that is what you need to do for your company's vision. Number three, your core values. I can't tell you how important this is. Knowing your core values is a key to life, is a key to you as an individual, whether you realize that or not. But what it's key to in the hiring process is knowing whether or not you can work with someone. How many of you have ever hired somebody and you said to yourself, "Oh my gosh, they are so much like me"? Or you said to yourself, like, "Wow, we have the same beliefs. Like the core of our values are the same." And if you've never had that experience of saying that this person's values are the same as yours, you need to rethink about what your team. And just remember, because their values are the same does not mean that they are the same person as you. It just means that they believe and they are driven by some of the same things you are. When you define the core values in your company, you want this person to be aligned to those values. That is going to give them their drive. And as the business owner, you should know who you want to work with and who you don't want to work with. For example, if you are a company and you're all about empowering women of color, I am sure you don't necessarily want to work with somebody who is a white supremacist. Think about things from that perspective. As you are preparing to scale your business, you're setting the platform for your company culture. You have to start from somewhere. Your team is what's going to enhance that company culture. You want your culture to constantly be developing. This is what's going to set you from thousands, millions of other companies out here. Your values are also what is telling your audience and your customers who you are and what you're about. We live in an age where people can call out BS on companies that don't stand for anything. And if you know what you're doing is important, if you stand for something, this is the information you need to share not only with candidates, but your audience and your customers. If the person you hired does not align with your company's core values, there's going to be conflict. I need you to understand that. So, for example, one of my core values, I honestly believe in respect. I respect the people that I work with, they respect me, and it's a wonderful thing to have. Your company values could be so much more elaborate than that, but it can be just as simple as that. So I want you to start thinking about that. What are the values that mean a lot to me? What is the information that I'm trying to convey to people? For example, some of my core values are being a change agent, linking talent to value. Those are the core values of my own company and for our team here at Higher Breakthrough. So I want you to think about this for your company because it's going to help you stand out. Now, of course, why does all of this matter? If you don't answer the three questions, you're going to have difficulty attracting the right candidates. And as a result, you're going to lose money, you're going to lose time, and of course, you're going to have high turnover. These are the things that we want to avoid. As someone, who may have a small business or a startup or anything like that, this is your make it or break it moment. And this is why I help my clients hire with intention the right way. Through our process, we help our clients assess their business and assess their needs. We want you to hire from a place of intention because that is how you're going to hire with ease. So if you know for a fact, like, I need to change the way that I'm hiring, I need to change the way that I'm bringing people into my company, start by asking yourselves these three questions so you can hire with intention. All right. That was all I had to share. Stay tuned for the next episode.
Are you ready to make your next right hire but are stuck in the weeds? If so, be sure to grab the Scale Hire Roadmap. This is a resource that we developed to give you the steps to attract and hire your A team. You can get the roadmap for yourself at hirebreakthrough.com/roadmap.
This podcast is produced, engineered, and edited by CEO Rising Creative and Greatborn Studios.